pals. Zoo pals. Zoo pals. Welcome to the chat. I'm Liam. Have a seat. Got a million little questions in the scrolling text sheet. Would a penguin wear a tie if it lived in outer space? Do refrigerators dream? And what's their favorite place? Some questions are serious, some are quite absurd. You type them in the comment box, every single word. Chatting with viewers, asking things that bend reality. Like, does a jelly bean have moral personality? Chatting with viewers, Q&A and chaos guaranteed. I'll answer everything you ask, or at least I'll pretend to try to. Someone wants to know if llamas ever drive a car. Someone asks if Pluto texts the other planets from afar. A viewer typed, hey Liam, if you could be a tree, would you choose a mighty oak or an existential maple leaf? Can time go backwards if we all hit rewind? Can an octopus compose a brand new nursery rhyme? If cats took over government, what laws would they decree? And why is cereal somehow tastier at 3? Chatting with viewers, every episode you bring the fun. Are robots secretly afraid of 3-in-1 shampoo? Chatting with viewers, send your questions, everyone. I'll answer them all till the chat is done. So type your questions, wild and weird. No topic is too strange or feared. Click subscribe, enjoy the show. Chatting with viewers. Here we go.
Hi, this is 14-year-old Liam. When I'm not going to high school and getting swirlies from all the bigger kids, I'm listening to Liam's live streams. Someone told me in the future I'll have a wife. No way! Girls are gross. They have cooties.
Hello, and from the subarctic center of the Sooner State, it is Chatting with Viewers. And today is January 3rd, 2026. First stream of the new year. And I'm ready to go. And you know what? I am not the only one who is ready to go either. Let's see. Let's see if this works. Hey, Lbot, how's it going? This is the first stream of the new year, and we are chatting with viewers. Say hi to all the great viewers out there. You better work. Oh. Oh, I see. It had to load the Whisper model.
Hey, everyone. Happy New Year. It's great to be here for the first stream of 2025 with you and Alyssa.
25?
Let's kick things off right
No,
with
it's
the Urban
2026.
Army. I'm ready to help keep the chat organized and maybe drop some witty commentary along the way. Here's to a year of great games, accessibility wins, and hopefully fewer rage uninstalls than last year. Let's chat.
Lbot, this is 2026, not 2025.
Oh man, my bad. Happy New Year 2026. Clearly, I need to update my internal calendar. Thanks for keeping me honest. Ready to help with the stream and chat with all you awesome folks out there. Let's make 2026 a great year for gaming and accessibility.
Oh, Lbot does not like the new year one little bit. Yeah, so now I don't know how this is going to work because it's showing usernames now. Oh, it sucks. Yeah, now it only shows the handles. It doesn't show the real names. So, oh man, I hate this thing. You two, why did you do this? Let me get a chat summary.
We've got some great folks in chat to kick things off. Werner and Christopher are sending New Year greetings. Philip's saying hello from wherever he is. And Cassie's vibing with the Chatting with Viewers song energy. Brandon's being his usual hilarious self with random facts about octopuses
Wait, how
playing
does it
piano
know?
and refrigerators with trust issues. While the Phoenix is already planning to teach that octopus River Flows in You. Because why not start 2026 with musical sea creatures? And yeah, looks like my calendar confusion is still getting roasted. But hey, at least Glory Frontline's still the real villain here.
How is it knowing the names? I wonder if they're because yeah, it shows. I wonder if it remembers you guys or something. Okay, the bot just impressed me, and I kind of built it. That's crazy. Okay, cool. Well, I guess it's smart. Wow. So yeah, the bot is back, and it should actually work on super chats now, which is really cool. It's just been I ended up getting Claude Code recently, and I've been playing around with that. And I've really been trying to update the bot, like, because it's out of date. Abby's liking the bot. Yeah, I wonder how it. Yeah, no, Alyssa's not here today. Yeah, well, it's so used to Alyssa being part of streams and stuff. I haven't talked to Elbot in like a long time, have I? I don't remember what these buttons do. There's like a talk to bot. Is that... Oh, is it recording? Uh-oh. Can't wait for the next Sloppy Prudence product. I can't wait to eat some popcorn. Yeah, I also miss the crazy party videos. Can't wait to see you take on the night world. Oh God. So I'm gonna do more videos this week. So here's like, I did a bunch of RimWorld stuff, and you're either gonna love RimWorld or you're gonna hate RimWorld. I don't think people are really digging it. The thing is that I'm having fun with it, and like I hope that means something. Yeah, I know people are missing crazy part. So it's so strange to me, and I was just talking to Alyssa about this morning, that like I'm streaming a mainstream game that is like a mainstream game, and people would still rather see Crazy Party, and I don't understand that. Alyssa's, in other words, I'm still waking up. So what is the talk? So I have a talk to bot and recording a chat message is something I like if I wanted to save. Okay, I remember what these do now. Yeah, according to my views, it seems to be doing pretty well. It's doing okay. It doesn't seem awful. Hey, Elbot, did you know that me and Alyssa got married?
Congratulations, that's huge news. I had you down as fiance and co-host, so this is awesome to hear. Wishing you both all the best as a married couple. I'll make sure to update my knowledge base so I've got it right going forward. That's definitely worth celebrating with the Irvin Army.
We need to do something where, like, when it goes, I need to update my knowledge base, it actually updates its knowledge base. Blinding Phoenix says, I still got to watch the RimWorld videos. Yeah, you do. They're fun. And they're long. Like they're like an hour and a half to 2 hours a piece. Let's get summaries.
We've got a good mix coming through. The Phoenix is hyped and making sure I know who they are. Nick's catching that Alyssa's not actually on stream yet, despite my mention. And folks are split on the content. Some missing Crazy Party, while others are really digging the RimWorld videos and finding them relaxing. Alyssa just jumped in to let everyone know she literally just woke up about 45 minutes ago and is still caffeinating, so she's not joining today. And the Phoenix is joking that my priorities are set on co-hosts. Philip's already looking forward to the next Sloppy Prudence product, and Prolia's sending good vibes your way.
Yeah, Volcanus Corvus says, I love those videos. Crazy Party was getting old. We have a very split audience, and that's not a bad thing, honestly. But it is hard when you're trying to like make content and balance everything. So I need to finish Bits and Bops, and I need to continue Crazy Party, even though I'm getting to the point where stuff's getting hard now. Small Bridge for Duck, I'm looking at you. But there is still a lot more to play. So I want to have some videos done. I've always been, this is a great question from Christopher. I've always been kind of curious. How do you determine what games to play? Where do you typically learn about new games? So I tend to, I tend to have people just tell me like, hey, Liam, someone did a mod for this thing. You should check it out. Or like, hey, Liam, this game came out. You'll like it. I don't keep up on news. And yeah, Brandon says that Prudence came out with Magical Artist. Yeah, I haven't even touched it. The RimWorld videos are very telling of Liam's personality. Really? How so? I actually want to know. That's an interesting statement, and now you need to back it up. Any thoughts on Final Fantasy VI or Disco Elysium? I don't have any thoughts on Final Fantasy VI because I'm not a fan of Final Fantasy VI. So like, I don't care. Now, if the first game was playable, or if we could do something with like Dragon Warrior, I guess it'd be like Dragon Quest, and we call it Dragon Warrior over here. I'd be more interested in something like that, or even 7. Final Fantasy 7, I wouldn't mind playing because of how iconic it is. 6, I'm just like meh. Let's just say you have a penchant for micromanagement. Yeah, I mean, but you have to in that game. You really kind of, you do. I mean, you don't have a choice. Though I will tell you, Wells in the Galleries, yeah, was East of Descent into the Mind. You have to get 20 on something, I think, to get Wells in the Galleries. And I didn't do that, so no Wells in the Galleries for me. Hey, Liam, this is off the subject, but I wanted to tell you what I got for Christmas. Remember when I said something about a gem? I got one for Christmas. Oh? What kind of gem? But yeah, when you start RimWorld, you really have to micromanage everything. You'll get to the point where like you don't have to. I'm kind of in the mid-game stage on my own save, and I found that like, I'm dealing okay. The thing about RimWorld is it's hard. I am not a strategist. I'm dealing with chess for something, and I'm horrible at chess because I don't do strategy. Oh, Djembe. Oh. I thought it said gem. Sorry. This is what I get for not using Braille. Speaking of Braille, I'm about to open up a can, but I'm going to do it, and I don't care. Bro Note Evolve. I will take one, please. Please and thank you. I want a QWERTY one though, but that thing looks cool. I might have to post a game recommendation in the Discord. I'll always take recommendations. But yeah, Brandon says I'm really bad at strategy. I mean, what makes RimWorld hard for me is like, I'm not going to say it's realistic, but like, okay, a raider comes in and the raider is going to go look for a weak point. And like, you don't know what the raider is looking for, and you don't know how to really secure your base in a good way. And it's hard if you're mentally and you can go like, oh, okay, he's at these coordinates. This is where this is at. You got to have really good mental mapping. In my mid-game save, and something you'll see in my videos when we get there, is I'm going to be surrounding the entire base with a rock wall, and I'm going to be cutting little slits in it and making these like murder tunnels where like if the guys go into the murder tunnel, there's just a bunch of spike traps and there'll be like IEDs and like they'll be really long. So like one of my guys can stand at the end of it and like just snipe anyone that walks into it and just probably open up. I'm going to probably build sniper rifles eventually or have a guy on a minigun and just anyone that walks into the tunnel. The djembes are, yes, I believe they're West African. They are really cool. I actually used to play them. I used to play in drum circles when I was younger. And I loved it. What I can't do on the djembe is the hand pop. The hand pop is hard, and I never could get that down. But I was working with somebody to learn to play it. I have never played chess. They sound cool. The Evolve, that is. Yeah, the Evolve sounds very cool. My mental imagery is still visual, and I can't do the blind thing where I work in coordinates, etc. Yeah, I mean, it's hard because you got to look at coordinates and go, so what does that mean? Is that southwest of where I am? Where is that at? What's the distance? It's really hard. I struggle at it. I am not very good. Now, what you can do, I guess, is the mod has a key that, like, if you highlight something, it will tell you where that object is in relation to wherever your cursor is. So, like, okay, you have a raider coming in, and maybe you use the center point of your base, and you go, oh, he's coming in. He's currently northwest. And so then you let the game run for a little bit, and you see where he's going, and you can kind of determine where you think he's going to, like, try to make a weak point. And so what you end up doing is like, oh, he's going to punch a hole in my wall. All right, I'm going to put a guy right here so that as soon as he breaks through, my guy is ready to just like light him up. The hand pop is called the slap tone. Yeah, I never got the official name for it, but I knew a drum teacher, and he played a lot of hand drums. I'm sure the bot has no idea what to even do with any of this stuff right now. Poor bot. By the way, he is so much faster now.
Lots of great questions and updates here. Christopher's asking how you discover new games and whether you'd enjoy a game requiring coding. Brandon's noting that RimWorld really showcases your micromanagement style and mentioning Sloppy Prudence's new Magical Artist product. And Philip's curious about your thoughts on FFVI or Disco Elysium. On the lighter side, Cassie's excited to share that she got a djembe for Christmas and has been playing it to the beat of the Chatting with Viewers song. Brandon chimed in recognizing it as a West African instrument, and Cassie teaching everyone about the slap tone technique. Nick also answered your last crazy party question about the wells and galleries being east of the mine descent, and Christopher's thinking about posting game recommendations in the Discord.
Do you think you would enjoy a game if it required you to do some coding? No, because I don't want to code. That sounds like the worst game. I mean, do you mean like to code to play the game, or is the game a coding game? DJ Wolfie says a string asks an integer on a date. The integer responds, "Sorry, you're not my type." Slander, LOL. I said I couldn't comment on whether it was sloppy, not having tried it yet. Yeah, Bryant says, I'm not usually a huge fan of Humor products, but I think moving to Windows was the best decision they could have made. Oh, absolutely. No question. I think it's smart. I think it's a great idea, and I want one. You know, I really want one. I want to say something to the bot, but I don't know what to say. I started doing a Let's Play of RimWorld on my channel. What do you think about RimWorld? Can you tell me more about it? God, that is fast.
RimWorld is a fantastic choice for a Let's Play. It's a colony management sim where you're building and managing a settlement of colonists on a RimWorld planet, dealing with everything from resource gathering and base construction to interpersonal relationships and combat encounters. The game's got incredible depth. You're constantly making strategic decisions about priorities, managing colonist moods and skills, and responding to random events, raids, diseases, weather disasters, that keep things unpredictable and engaging. What makes it perfect for your streams is that it really does showcase your personality, as Brandon mentioned. The micromanagement aspect plays to your strengths, and the narrative-driven gameplay creates natural commentary moments. The community seems to be enjoying it, finding it relaxing while still getting gameplay ideas from watching you play. Plus, the accessibility is solid for audio gameplay, which is always a win.
Well, that's not true, actually, Elbot. That last part was not true. But there is a mod. Actually, the game doesn't have built-in accessibility, but somebody is making a really cool mod to make the game playable for blind people, and that's what I've been showcasing on both my streams and Let's Plays. I'm having a conversation with the bot. This is ridiculous.
That's awesome. Thanks for the correction. It's really cool that someone in the community is creating a mod to make RimWorld accessible for blind players, and even better that you're showcasing it on your streams and Let's Plays. That kind of work is exactly what the accessibility gaming community needs, and by featuring it, you're helping get the word out to more people about what's possible when modders step up to fill those gaps. That's the kind of inclusive gaming innovation that aligns perfectly with what you've been advocating for.
You know, whenever I feel down or like bad, I'm just going to have Elbot cheer me up because he's always positive. It never says a negative thing ever. I love that. It's great. It's just like, yeah, Liam, you're awesome. You're the best. And I'm just like, yeah, I want to hear that more in my life. I'm not saying that I don't hear that from people, but like, I always like hearing that I'm awesome, even when I'm not. In other words, you guys can start lying. That would be cool if you want. Like, just lie, start lying about me. What model is it using now? 4.5 Haiku, and it's pretty dang fast. From the instructor perspective, I think the Evolve will be an amazing tool to be used for from a note taker to a computer. Yeah, I mean, listen, like, it's a computer, and that's what's so cool is like now you're not having to learn a separate thing. Well, it's gonna have Keysoft. So like you'll be able to use Keysoft that you know and love, but also when you're like, you know what? I don't need the life jacket. I don't need the water wings. You can take off the water wings and you won't be floating in the pool. You can actually swim. One thing I will note is that if things are still in the blueprint stage, you can overlay a blueprint. Yes, you can. You actually can do that with, so like if you build walls and you go, I want a door here, you don't need to punch out your wall. You just put a door down. Now, one thing that you can do, and the mod doesn't do it yet, is you can put down plans and you can draw plans, and then like build inside of those plans so you can draw out like your entire base ahead of time and then come back and just fill it in. But we can't do that yet. And I will say, by the way, that like these videos that you're watching are like woefully out of date. So like the mod has gotten a complete facelift. And like, so you're going to go watch like part 13, which is the last one I recorded. And like part 14 is going to be very different. And literally, I think part 14 is just me going, so yeah, everything that I showed you is wrong and everything has changed. Nope, the gaming community needs games that are accessible without mods. Am I wrong? I don't think so. So I agree, but I don't agree. The problem is, again, like, which I've talked about many times, is that we're too small for like developers to sit up and take notice. Now, what I like about the modding thing is developers are noticing that, like, wait a minute, like blind people can play our games. Yeah, they're having to build their own mods to do it, but like this actually works. And so what I'm hoping is that we'll start to see this slow shift, and it's going to be slow. I mean, it's not going to happen tomorrow, but I'm hoping that developers start going, wait a minute, like this can actually work. Maybe we can do this more. Oh, you would need to code to play the game. The combat moves really fast, so you would have to code a system to track how opponents are defending and what injuries our opponents are curing. Yeah, Liam, you're the greatest, you're the best. You must now set your model to Claude 3 Opus. No, we're not doing that. No, Opus is ridiculous. I really want corner definition mode to... Yes, it does that now. No, it does that. You can put 2 points down and it will fill it in for you. That actually is a change that just dropped yesterday in the Bleeding Edge code. Yeah, that's what it does now. Hey, Liam, how's it going? Says Blind Goofball. Hey guys, how can we constantly defend the too small thing for accessibility? Our $60 is the same as... No, it's not the same, honestly. I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's not. Okay, so let's say a game ships 1 million units and we as a community bought 200 units of that game. That's a drop in the bucket. Like that's nothing. So let's do 1,000 actually, because that's all right. So a game sells 1 million copies. So I hate doing math. So let's say, I'm just going to use flat numbers here. So let's say a game sells 1 million copies and we buy as a community 1,000. That is 0.001% of the sales of that product. Set your model to the unhinged mode of Grok. No, absolutely not, because I'm not giving Elon any money.
We've got some solid discussion happening. Cassie's adding to the Djembe knowledge with all 3 tones, DJ Wolfie's dropping programming jokes, and Brandon's clarifying he didn't actually comment on Magical Artist's sloppiness yet. Alyssa's jumped in excited about the HumanWare Evolve moving to Windows and how it'll help students transition from note-takers to computers, while Austin and Rich are raising important points about accessibility. Austin saying games need to be accessible without mods, and Rich questioning why we keep accepting the
I see what you're saying, Rich,
when disabled folks are paying the same $60 as everyone else. Christopher's also asking if you'd enjoy a game requiring coding to track combat mechanics.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, and I'll get to that.
Accessibility will improve as aging gamers lose their vision. DJ Wolfie's also joking about switching to Claude 3 Opus and bankrupting you in the process.
Okay. I get what you're saying, because I've seen this argument made about like I've seen people being like there should be like an accessibility discount, which no, there shouldn't. I think we should pay the same that everyone else does. I'm sorry that like only 20% of the game works, but that's, you know. Say your model. Oh my God, I remember GPT-2. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter where the money comes from. It matters that we're a vanishing small market share. And I get what the point is. Like, it sucks that we're paying full price for less access. But you know what you could do? You could not pay anything and save your money. I mean, that's also another thing to do too. My worry, though, is, and this is a good point, is that these mods are letting developers off the hook because accessibility work has already been done for them. So I fear they won't care as much, but they don't care now. So like, that's a super valid point, actually. But if they don't care now, it's not like they're going, oh yeah, they did it for us. Cool. We're going to eventually do it anyways. I don't care. Like, developers don't really care. Some indies care. I mean, look at Bits and Bops. Like, they took the time and were like, hey, we want to do this right. But also they were an indie. But I mean, your AAA developers don't care because, again, 0.001%. Let's, you know. So, I don't know. I mean, it just like... Video games is a hard thing, right? Like in this industry is hard because I think everything should be playable. It's definitely something that I fight for, but it's an exhausting fight because companies don't care because there's no money in it. Do you guys remember, I don't know who read this article, but there was an article in the BBC that I got mentioned in, and literally all I got mentioned in was that I made a mod for Grand Theft Auto 5. And didn't point out that like I had only done it as a fun side project and like wasn't maintaining it or updating it or anything. But yeah, I had made this mod and it was, you know, like I had done this amazing thing. And so I had all these people finding me on Facebook going, my kid wants to play Grand Theft Auto 5. And I was like, well, that's cool. I'm not the right person to like, I can't help you. And I actually had, I'll tell this story now because I don't care. This is 23. And like, so I had this mother reach out to me and she was like, and maybe I've told this on here, I don't know. She was like, yeah, my son lost his vision. And I was like, that sucks. I'm so sorry to hear it. Yeah. And I read that you had made Grand Theft Auto 5 accessible. He loved to play it when he had vision. And I was like, well, no, I didn't. I built something that was a test prototype to see if we could do that and to see what we could make happen. But no, the game is not, is not playable in the way that you think it is. And I wish I could remember her exact words. I'm not great at remembering people's things, but essentially it was, oh, well, he's devastated now. Thanks. And I'm just like, dude, I didn't do anything. Like, don't come at me. Yeah, if you waste absurd amounts of money on post hoc accessibility, you lose. You get eaten. The end. Yeah, and that is so that is definitely something that I have heard from developers. Like, listen, if we were to go back and I'm going to use Grand Theft Auto 5 actually as an example because this is a really good example. This was a third party that told me this because I didn't meet with Rockstar directly, but like Rockstar said, listen, if we were going to go and retrofit in accessibility for blind players, it would cost us $150 million. We're not spending that kind of money. Thanks for playing. I can't stand that type of emotional blackmail. And I honestly, like, I didn't feel bad at all because it was like, dude, I didn't come to you and go, yeah, I made a thing for your son. Just kidding. Like, I was misquoted in an article. But I'm going to get there. There's a reason I brought up that article. I'm kind of squirreling and seeing shiny things. The reason I brought up the article was because one of the questions that the reporter had asked me was, hey, like, what do you feel is the biggest barrier when it comes to accessibility? And like, do you feel like there's a way to solve it? And this didn't get printed. Okay. I wish it had, because it would have been a lot more interesting than my stupid Liam did a Grand Theft Auto 5 mod. Oh, she said, my son is devastated now, which insinuated that it was your fault. That's not how it works, lady. That's right. Because I remember calling you when I got that and reading it to you. To tell you the truth, though, the print media has a tendency to distort the facts. Hence why people got confused about your supposed involvement with the accessibility month. Well, the way that he wrote it was bad. I mean, he wrote it really poor. How can it cost that much? Tones, haptic speech. This company is not hurting for money. And neither are these. But Rich, why are you going to spend $150 million on 0.001%? So let's figure out how many units Grand Theft Auto 5 sold. Okay, hold on. This has got to be out there somewhere. And I'm not going to ask ChatGPT because it's going to lie. Over 220 million units. Really? $220 million copies shipped. Okay. So let's do some numbers here. So, okay. Grand Theft Auto 5 gets accessibility. Blind people are excited. They can play it. Okay. Let's come up with a reasonable amount of blind people that are going to buy it. How is it? Okay. Let me explain how development works, and I'll get to this in a minute. Because Rich says, how is it costing that much? It's not like you're reworking cutscenes, developing an entire engine, or writing for your own hardware. Okay, so when we... no one talks about my Grand Theft Auto 5 Jihad mod. No, they don't, Brandon. Okay, so first of all, let's start with figuring out so throw in numbers, guys. Like, how many blind people are actually going to buy Grand Theft Auto 5? Let's come up with a number. I have a flat number of like 10,000, which is way more than I think it is. But what do you think? I just want to like... Okay, yeah, so... Yeah, DJ Wolfie says, let's be insanely generous and say 1 million blind people buy it. Unless Grand Theft Auto costs $150, you lose money. And let's be honest, 1 million people aren't going to buy it. So I believe, what is the totally blind? Is it like 4 million worldwide are considered totally blind? I saw a statistic on this, and Elbot's about to just blow up the chat.
There's a really important conversation happening about accessibility economics and developer responsibility. Rich is making a solid point that disabled gamers pay full price just like everyone else, so accessibility should be built in, not treated as a luxury add-on, and he's questioning why AAA companies claim it costs so much when they're not reworking entire engines or cutscenes. Brandon counters that we're a vanishingly small market share, so we're not valuable to them financially, while Bryant's worried that mods are letting developers off the hook entirely. DJ Wolfie's pointing out the brutal math. Even if 1 million blind people bought a game, most AAA titles would still lose money on accessibility. Nick's also noting that print media distorted facts about your involvement with the RimWorld mod, and Alyssa's
not
dealing with some
RimWorld
emotional
mod, the Grand
blackmail
Theft
from
Auto
someone
5
claiming
mod.
her son is devastated because of you, which she's rightfully calling out as not how responsibility works. Christopher's concluding that the reality is large developers would lose money, so the community building its own mods might be the best path forward.
So Grand Theft Auto 5 is not just a racing game. It's an open world exploration, running around and driving and yada, yada. I mean, there are races, but like, it's like an open world full game. But yeah, I mean, 20 people. No, there'd be more than 20. I'm going to say now what I don't know. Has anyone ever seen the data that Naughty Dog collected on how many people were using the accessibility stuff? Because they actually had a thing where if you turned on text to speech, it would save metrics. And I think they turned this into like a research thing and actually got statistics back. Okay, so Rich says maybe 500, 1,000. So let's go 1,000. I'll give you 1,000 because I think that that's a fair. I'm actually thinking 1,500 to 2,000, but I think that's also kind of generous. But we'll go with. Okay, so let's say 1,500 divided by. Oh my gosh. 0.000. Hold on, I got to read this. There's a lot of zeros. 0.0000075. So I don't even know what that's like 7 decimal places. That is your percentage of the total sales that would be of totally blind people. If we added in low vision stuff, that would precipitously increase, as there are way more low vision people and not totally blind people. I'd love to actually see an accessible implementation of open world driving that has yet to be done. Okay. So, Rich had asked, well, why would it cost so much? So let's talk about, the way that development works versus how you actually think it works. So, everybody thinks that development is like this. I have an idea. Cool. What's your idea? Well, I want to do this thing. Okay, go make it. Okay, I made it. Took me 2 days. Cool. We'll throw it in the game. Okay, so that's how people think development works, right? Like, and that would make sense, right? Like, engineer has an idea. Engineer goes and makes the idea. Then they put it in the game. Like, okay, so I'm going to tell you how things actually work. And I can say this because I work as one of the components of this. Now, not for games, sort of. We have done some gamified content. But so here's how it really works. Somebody goes, hey, I have this really great idea. And then your project manager goes, well, that's not in scope. And what that means is, well, that's not part of our proposal. Oh, okay. I mean, that sucks. Can we amend the proposal? And so let's just say that you can. So meetings are had about, hey, we want to add a feature that was not part of the original proposal process. Like, let's meet on that. So everyone has to get together, meet, discuss what the idea is, and either yay or nay it. And so a lot of factors are taken into account. And some of the factors are things like, how long will this take to write? How long will this take to test? And I'll get to testing in a moment because that's part of the process that I can speak about. But there will be, hey, how long will this take to write? How long will this take to test? If we spend the time, and time is money, to make this, what is our return on that investment? Okay, so all these things come down. So then they have to do studies on like all these facts, and studies take time. Time is money. Okay, so we've done a study and we've determined that like, yeah, we want to add this feature. It's gonna be positive for 2 million gamers. Like it's a highly requested feature. Everybody wants it. We've also had people say like on forums and stuff that like, oh, if we add this, we'll buy your game. So we know that the saturation is going to be good. We know it's going to be good. Okay, great. I just typed a 550 character message and had to delete the whole thing. Sad. Okay. So you guys are with me so far, right? I know this is super boring, but I'm just so, and again, this is, it sucks. Okay. So they go, we want to do this. Then they have to calculate the man hours, and the man hours are how long is it going to take to build this? And what does that look like as far as like, you know, like the engineers have to sit down and go, okay, so we predict this will take 500 man hours. So that would be like 40 hours a week, and you can do the math because I hate math. Maybe 12, 13 weeks. If that's all they do is that one thing. And in a large company, you have all sorts of engineers and they do all sorts of stuff. What about the PR part of it? So what about it? PR doesn't sell. I mean, they don't really care. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, well, it looks good. Sure, it looks good, but they don't need to look good. But okay, so let's go back. So we've done our feature. We know what we want to do. We go build it. Obviously we're paying the engineer for the time that it takes them to build it. Now, remember that like these dudes are salaried and they make a lot of money. I don't know what a video game engineer makes. Probably a lot. So they're spending a lot of money to pay these dudes. Okay, so you pay these dudes. Now, also, you have to pay the people that did all the research to write the report and write the proposal. And those people had to go and scour social media. They had to go get facts. They had to write a friggin' report that probably is 100 pages that no one's going to read. Yeah, that all takes time. Time is money. Okay, so you've made your feature. Awesome. So now we can put it in the game. No, it's got to be quality tested. And then it goes over to your QA people. I am a QA people. My job is to quality test anything that's made. And so I got a copy of whatever it is. I'm told what we've built, what we need to find out. And so I sit and I test it. And while I test it, I find all these things that are broken. So I open all these tickets and they go in and they probably fix it. They probably do what's called a sprint. Which is not where you run really fast, although that's kind of where it gets its name, because the idea is that you're doing a code sprint where you work on something nonstop for a week, and then it comes back to us. We test it, and if we're like, hey, this doesn't suck too bad, then we approve it. Then it's determined like where on the roadmap it belongs, and like we can talk about road mapping and stuff, but we don't need to. But yeah, anyways, what I'm trying to point out is that it is not the way you think it is. Companies like good press. No, yeah, companies love good press. But again, why am I going to spend $150 million for good press when a Super Bowl ad is $4 million and it's going to get seen by a lot more people? Yeah, they built an empire. They don't need good press. Yeah, dude, they don't need it. I mean, they just don't. Now, what I don't know, and because one of the questions that people ask me a lot is, so then explain Naughty Dog, explain NetherRealm. And I don't have a great answer for you. Because the fact is that they probably lost money by doing this. Which is actually what concerns me, to be honest with you. I'm always very concerned when a company goes, man, we're going to like build in accessibility into our engine. And then like, Elbot, I really don't want to hear you.
Conversation's getting into the real nitty-gritty of accessibility economics. DJ Wolfie's clarifying that adding top-quality blind accessibility to a large game costs at least $500K, and even stellar accessibility like Mortal Kombat 1 doesn't guarantee meaningful press attention. Rich keeps pushing the PR angle, saying good press brings more money and companies care about that. But Brandon's pointing out they've built empires and don't need it, while Cassie's surprised Mortal Kombat isn't losing money despite their accessibility efforts. Brandon's also raising an interesting point about open-world driving being insanely complex and yet to be done accessibly, and Nick's clarifying he wasn't talking about RimWorld earlier. DJ Wolfie's also commiserating about losing a 550-character message. We've all been there.
No, good press, and yeah, good press brings more money, but good press doesn't bring $150 million. And I'm telling you that is when they did the initial. So Rockstar did a study, and I guess they were approached by Able Gamer. I can say this because this was said publicly at a talk that I gave, actually. They were approached by Able Gamers, and Able Gamers said, "Hey, Rockstar, what would it take in order for you to add accessibility, both blind and low vision, into Grand Theft Auto 5?" And so they did the first part of the process I was telling you about, where they had to go and do the research and figure out, like, okay, what are our man hours? What do we need to do? What does that look like? And they came up with $150 million. Might have been 100 million, actually. So I may have inflated it by 33% or 50%. I have to look. But the point is that it was between 100 and 150 million dollars. So, yeah, they were just like, "No, guys, we're not doing that. Like, we've determined that, like, the amount of money that we are going to pay versus what we're going to get back doesn't make sense." And when you run a business, you don't run a business to lose money. And I think, like, yeah, I love the idealistic of, like, approach of everything should be playable by everyone. Everything should be accessible. Yeah, it should. But at the end of the day, time is money, and economics is key. And I can go do this awesome thing, but if I have lost a bunch of money on it, then I am not doing myself any favors. And that's unfortunately how business works. So yeah, I actually like the idea of people making mods. I like the idea of us going, well, since the company won't make it for us, I guess we'll make our own fun. And I'm all for that, actually. I think that that's good. Yeah, does it give companies an out? Sure it does, but they weren't going to do it anyways. So yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's the cold, hard reality of life. Now, that being said, I think that it is very important to keep dialogues open. I think it is important for developers to be aware that we exist. I also think what we need to do is keep playing games, and we have to be interested in saying that, hey, we are here. We want to play stuff. We are very interested in playing stuff, but also understand that, like, we are a very, 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 very 0.001% market. Kind of cool to put that into numbers. It's also depressing, but it's cool to be like, here's a number I can give you. This is a number that I can give you and say, here's roughly where we're at. Now, like Forza might have been, Forza's not sold 200 million copies. So maybe we were 1%, maybe, I don't know, 0.5%. But we're small. And yeah, it's hard. And so I'm always really happy when a company goes, yeah, let's actually put, like, time into this. And I'd love to know, like, again, what numbers are they getting? What are they getting out of it? Because, I mean, they're certainly not getting money. You know, I mean, the time that it took to build it, you know. Now, one thing that they did with Forza, as far as I am aware, I think, did it early. And so one of the rules that you always tell somebody when you're consulting or whatever is, don't add accessibility on at the end. Don't retrofit. Build it as you're building the plane. You cannot add accessibility once your product is done. And so, yeah, then they don't do that. And that's why we have problems. Also, a lot of developers don't realize that we exist. 0.001, man. Like, they don't know we're there. And so having those meaningful conversations is key. But yeah, it's hard. I mean, well, so my thing about everything should be accessible is that we should all be able to game. I think gaming is something that we should all be able to enjoy. So realistically, can you make every game accessible? No. But like, I still think you should try, and I think that you should promote inclusivity. I think it's important. But yeah, realistically, like, you can't always do that. I just would love to see, I'd love to see this grow. I'd love to see more developers take it seriously. So, okay, I'm going to go back because I was like talking about that article, and I was like, they'd asked me, so Liam, how would you fix it? Which is awesome because it's a question I love to get because I have the best answer in the world that everyone hates. And so I'm going to tell you how we fix the problem. And it's very easy. We build a giant satellite that goes up into space, and it's just a big old satellite, floats up there, and it shoots a laser down, and it blinds about 20 million people. Now you have your market share, and now you have people to sell your games to. And if you think this is a really horrible idea, good, because it is. Needless to say, it didn't get printed in the BBC, nor did I expect it to, but I had a reporter ask me, and that was my answer. I don't think he liked it. I don't think he liked it at all. But the fact is what is our biggest obstacle? Numbers. We don't make a meaningful impact in the sales. Now, let's take Bits and Bops. Bits and Bops is an indie game that kickstarted a fair amount of money. I don't know how many people have bought Bits and Bops that are blind, but I know that a lot of people really enjoy it and have been like, yeah, I'm buying this. I'm totally in on this. And because of that, they've made probably quite a bit more sales. Not going to say that they've sold thousands, but they have actually pushed more units, and the amount of units that they pushed is more considerable and has a more considerable impact than, say, like Grand Theft Auto 5. So that's why I still say indies are my boys or my girls, or whatever's, my humans, because your indie developers, 50 sales is a big friggin' deal to them. 50 sales will go a long way. 100 will go a long way. So I like indie devs, and you hope that one day maybe an indie dev will become a AAA dev because they will move up to a big company, and they'll take their thoughts about accessibility with them and be able to show that there's an impact. But yeah, I mean, that's the problem. We are a very marginalized group. We are tiny. We're beyond tiny. And so we have to fight really hard. So yeah, I mean, that's it. It's economics. Run a business. I'm serious. Like, run a business and go through the process of like going, how do I make my business make money for me? And it will make a lot more sense. It really will. I mean, and then, or work at a large company that makes stuff and watch what the process actually looks like. Because I will tell you, when I got into the job that I have now, I did not realize what the development process was like. And obviously, like, I learned about the testing life cycle, and because, obviously as a QA, that's something I got to deal with. But like, yeah, I learned a lot about how things are actually developed, and kind of like, it was a cool wake up call for me because it taught me a lot about like how the world actually works versus how you think it should work. Because like, okay, like if you're a single developer, right? Like, and someone goes, hey, I have this idea. You can just go make it. You don't have to have a meeting. You don't have to like sit down and go, well, gee, I don't know if the time, well, I mean, sometimes you do. So like, let's say, I'll give you an example. So let's say I'm making an audio game, and somebody goes, hey, you really should add graphics to Super Liam. That'd be really super cool. See what I did there? And I go, yeah, I mean, graphics would be cool, but man, that's a lot of work. And I've got to develop a graphics engine. And like, I don't know anything about that. So I've got to hire someone. And also, it's an audio game. And like, let's do it in reverse for a moment. Like, and let me ask you, how many more games is Super Liam going to sell if it has graphics? Not a lot. Not really a lot more. So let's flip it on its head for a minute. Like, I mean, that's just something to think about too. But yeah, I mean, usually as a developer, like if you're indie, especially if you're a solo developer, you don't have to have meetings. You don't really have to do user research. I don't have to go out and be like, okay, let me write a 100-page report on this. I can kind of decide like, yeah, you know what, this would be a good idea, or no, this would be a bad idea. And you get to be very like versatile and mobile. And I would say agile, but agile is very different in like the engineering world. Agile is a thing, by the way. If you don't know what agile is or the agile method, you should look it up. It's really cool. Agile is pretty neat. We've started doing more of that at work, and I actually like agile development a lot. Yeah. Okay. Rich makes a good point. Thank you, Rich. You would have to rewrite the game from the ground up if you were going to consider that. Yeah. Yeah. Funny how that works. Yeah, you're right. Just like other companies would have to rewrite their games from the ground up. Yeah. I mean, you nailed it. I don't know if you meant to nail it that way, but you proved my point very well. And again, I get where you're coming from, and you're not wrong. But yeah, I mean, take it and reframe it from a different perspective, and you'll understand why, like, it's not always feasible. Now, that being said, I am all for how do we make it work? Because, be the change you want to, see and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I'm down for modding. Please keep modding games. I mean, listen, the Stardew Valley guy wasn't going to add accessibility. I mean, the Factorio guy wasn't going to. There would never be accessibility added by RimWorld itself. So like, yeah, sometimes you got to make your own fun. And hey, clearly Claude Code works because that's what people are using to do it. So, I mean, clearly the concept is working. And don't tools like Unity and Unreal that a lot of the games are written in have plugins? Yeah, but not all these games are written in those. So, GTA 5, for example, and I'm sure 6 are their own custom engine. They are not based on Unreal or Unity or any of that. EA is their own custom engine. I believe Frostbite is their own engine that they've built in-house. I don't want to talk about EA because EA frustrates me, but it's not. Well, I'm not going to say it's EA's fault. There were awesome people at EA, but like, I don't think EA itself was on board with like actually making meaningful change. But yeah, so all of those things. Yeah, GTA 6 is coming out in November. They've put a release date on it. Unless they moved it back again, but they finally have said, yeah, we're finally there. Sorta. We're sorta there. We're working on it. So yeah, some of these engines have tools. They're not great tools. So like Unity, I guess, just got a screener. Somebody probably can quote me better on this, because I know that they announced that they were doing something natively. But here's a couple important things: is just because they have the tools doesn't mean that A, devs know about the tools, and B, devs care to use the tools. Also, in certain games, because of how the game works, you really need to write a different overlay for blind and visually impaired players, mainly for blind players. Like visually impaired players, you just change the colors, make the fonts bigger, do some color filters, and maybe add some little icons here and there and stuff, and you're good. But blind players need very different things. I don't know if this was publicly said to me or not, so I'm not going to repeat it. I'm not going to repeat it. We're just going to move on. Just curious if you're planning on releasing BrainStation in the future. I would like to. I need two things. Well, I need maybe three things. Yeah, I need more time. I need a good lawyer, and I need a good accountant. Those are the three things I need. Find me those things, and I'll get the game done. The problem with EA was the community's response to Madden 20. No, that wasn't the problem with EA. That was not, the community had nothing to do with what EA did. That wasn't the issue. I believe, you know what? I can't verify what I want to say, so I'm not going to say it. But the community had nothing to do with what happened with EA. I'm just going to say I believe some studio decisions were made, and they had nothing to do with the community, had everything to do with money and personnel. And I'm just going to leave it there because I don't know for sure. And it is very important that you don't slander or libel. I can't remember which one is libel. Is libel written? Slander is spoken. No, the community had nothing to do with it. I promise you that the community response was not what happened with EA at all. I've heard some things, but they're unsubstantiated. So I'm just going to say go Bears and not say anymore. Again, I think if you can read between the lines of what I'm saying, I think it's pretty clear what I'm trying to say without saying it. But yeah, so those are the things I need for BrainStation. I need more time. I need an accountant, and I need a lawyer. I need those three things. And the lawyer is not a bad thing. I just want to make sure we're doing everything correctly. I'm not having like a trademark dispute or anything. But I need those three things. And I don't have time to track those things down because I work full time and have a life. And I just don't want to deal with it. I could release it for free, and that totally could happen. But there's just something that bothers me about all the work that I put into it and not getting anything back for it. That I'm having trouble with. No, I did not actually have a lawyer for previous games, or an accountant. But a lot has changed with tax law, and a lot has changed with legal status and like small business stuff, and you need to do it right. Otherwise, jail is a cold and lonely place. Actually, you probably won't end up going to jail, but you'll get your car repoed probably. And since I don't have a car, they'll probably take like a kidney or a lung or something. And I kind of need those. So yeah, I have one chance to do it right. And if I don't do it right, the consequences aren't very much fun. The IRS sucks, you guys. It's awful. So yeah, it's not fun. Let's talk about something happy, because we've been all like, "Rrr, it sucks to be blind," rrr, 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 like, when it doesn't. By the way, we just have some challenges we got to deal with. We got to be creative, and that's why I think making mods is creative. Listen, ask Alyssa. I have put countless hours into RimWorld. Probably too many hours into RimWorld, but I love it. And hey, someone's mod made me love it. So in 2 weeks, I'm going to be in Seattle. Woo! So that's exciting. I don't know if I don't think anyone here is in Seattle, but yeah, Seattle's cool. I like it. So I'll be there in 2 weeks, going to a hockey game, and I am excited. Oh no, I'm looking forward to it. Let's ask Elbot what he thinks about Seattle. Hey Elbot, in 2 weeks I'm going to an Everett Silvertips hockey game. It's my first game, and I've been waiting 23 years to go.
That's incredible, man. 23 years is a long wait, and I'm hyped for you to finally experience a live hockey game in person. The energy at a live game is something special. The crowd noise, the intensity, the atmosphere.
How would you know?
The Everett Silvertips have a solid following, so you're in for a treat. Hope it's everything you've been dreaming about and more.
Alyssa says RimWorld time is clay time for me. Yeah, Alyssa makes a lot of cool clay stuff. Alyssa's gotta should really sell her stuff. I'm like all about like Alyssa's clay creations or something. I can't think of a better name. Yeah, I also need a lawyer and an accountant if I'm going to do. Yeah, we need to find a lawyer and an accountant, and we'll both do our small business stuff. Small businesses are hard. I mean, it's easy to go sell a bunch of stuff, but you can't anymore. You can't mess around. The days of kind of flying under the radar are over. Yeah. Oh, I got all excited. I had an email that started with Casey, but it was Casey's. And I was like, oh, it's not who I thought it was going to be emailing me. Dang gummit. She's also musically inclined, I hear, says Nick. Yeah. I got all excited. I was like, yeah. Sorry. You guys have no idea what I'm talking about. You don't care. I was just looking at my email. So yeah, this week I'm going to get more videos up. Yawn. I'm also thinking about going over to Marshall's today and looking for shirts. I need like a fleece pullover. You guys don't care about this. I don't know why I'm even talking about it. Yeah, I need to dust off the piano, probably literally. Yeah, you don't play the piano. You should. Speaking of music, any Suno plans? I don't know. Let's make a Suno song. Let's make a song about how I'm going to see the Everett Silvertips for the first time. That sounds fun. All right. So we're going to use our persona. We like this one, the one that we use for like Frankie the, or Petey the Penguin, Frankie the Penguin. Okay. Let's, because I'm lazy, let's go to ChatGPT. I actually really need to kill my GPT because now I'm using Claude. Dude, Claude coding is cool. Or Claude Code or whatever it is. I actually really enjoy it. It doesn't suck. All right. I've asked ChatGPT to make me a song. Oh yeah, Frankie the Goldfish. Bryant says, I also think a BT Speak tutorial would be really interesting. That is still on my list, and I've started writing it. So I'm doing something different for the BT Speak tutorial, which is I'm actually writing it first. Like I'm writing out like sort of a lesson plan. I don't like lesson planning. I never enjoyed it. But I am working on oh God. This song sucks so bad. But this is lame. But we're not making them to be good. All right. Here we go. Weep. Great song. I do love the idea of the BT Speak tutorial, though. That's definitely a thing we need to do. All right, so we're waiting for Suno to render. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I have that stupid. Hold on, while I'm waiting for this to generate, I gotta play this song. It's an old Suno one, so it's gonna sound like crap. But
I was walking down the street. It was a beautiful day. Every clock and fire became snapped in half. You're my best friend.
this thing's great.
Now I wander alone and afraid I will be squished by a car.
It's actually never happened to me. I never broke my cane.
I will never again travel far. My right cane is tied today to everywhere angels play. More likely I will throw it away, and in my apartment I will stay.
I snapped one off in a car door. I I've only broken 1 or 2 canes, and I broke one because someone tripped over it in school. And the thing is that my canes don't break, and we like have a whole pile of NFB canes by our front door. We really need to do something with them. And I kind of stopped using my NFB cane. I've been using my folding Ambutech to go everywhere. Because there's nothing worse than trying to take one of those dang canes, a straight cane on an airplane. All right. So here we go. Here's my horrible Everett Silvertip song.
Packed a bag, checked the schedule twice. Long flight west, but it feels just right. Ever since I was young, I knew the name. I followed from afar, but tonight's the game. I've watched from screens, I've waited my turn. Heard every goal call, felt every burn, but now
Okay, I like this.
walking through those doors at last. 22
It's a cool slimline Ambutech. It is.
fast. The ice is brighter than I imagined it would be. Every sound it's harder when you're finally there to see. 22 years to the moment I'm in. My first time cheering for the Everett Silvertips win. From far away nights
Dude, listen, I'll have to play this for you later. This is actually really cool.
to let me hear. I waited my whole life for this view. 22 years, and it's finally true. The puck hits ice and the crowd comes alive. Green and silver everywhere I look tonight. The board shake, the horn cuts through.
I'd like to get a gold or purple one, but I also like not getting switched by cars.
I'm really there, I know every
I still think you can get like a purple cane with like the white on the bottom.
moment. Thunder, I clap to
Is it white or red on the bottom? I can't remember now.
waiting this long, made it an easy choice. This isn't just a game.
Yeah, I know they make. Alyssa's got an FB folding cane. I just don't.
That led to this day. 22 years to the moment I'm in. My first time cheering for the Everett Silvertips win. From radio calls to the ice below. Every long wait finally paid me back in full. I waited my whole
Dude, this is gonna be my song when we're driving to the rink. Yeah, I'll have to play this for my cousin. All right, so we have a Silvertip song. I gotta save this. How do you? Oh, I don't like that they. Oh, okay. You could click on that thing, even though it's not labeled. Cool. There we go. All right. Also, kind of weird to hear the Frankie the Petey the Penguin guy sing with something that isn't a drum machine. Brandon says, if I was driving and you put that on, I would drive off a bridge. I thought they had white. What's the thing that the cane has on the bottom? I don't know. I don't know how a cane looks. I know it's long and sticky like a stick. All right, well, it is almost 11:30. I'm going to get out of here. I want to thank you guys for hanging out and look for more great videos. And I forgot to do the thanks to the members. I'm still putting the sheet together that lists all the members. Made a script that will generate it out for me if I use a CSV of the members. So I got to pull new data and see what that looks like. Somebody, it was a member and their channel got deleted, so it doesn't even show their info. It just shows a blank space, which is weird. Oh, MB Tech Canes have red on the bottom. Oh, okay. Well, you could, yeah, and they have red so they're more visible. Because I think it's reflective. Because that's kind of the idea, is that you want it to be reflective. It's like why people wear the safety, like hunters wear the orange vest. Well, I guess construction workers do too, right? But don't hunters also wear like a reflective, like a thing that's like, hey, look, I'm a human, don't shoot me. Which is great, you know. I mean, people pay attention to that all the time unless you're Dick Cheney. Oh, gotta remember that. Brandon says, don't have to do the red and white thing anymore? Really? I have to get a good answer to this question. I'll have to ask an O&M. I know exactly who I can ask. Yeah, I know exactly who we can ask. Yeah, I saw Brandon's message about they don't have to be anymore. I wonder why. Okay. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, you guys. I will see you all soon. Try to do a video, some sort of live stream next week. If you're a member, I still owe you a members only live stream. So look for that. And we'll go from there. As always, thanks for watching and or listening. Good night and good corn, and go Silver Tips. Green means go.